I will live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. Psalms 118, verse 17.
Welcome to episode 4. We appreciate you all tuning in and joining us on our journey. And we have special guests with us today.
Not me, but we have two young adults, which are kids, and Daniel Blackshear, which we call him Dre, and of course, our editor-in-chief, Charity Blackshear. Welcome, guys. As you guys pretty much know, we're gonna allow them to have some opportunity to, express themselves about the whole experience that Lisa, all of us experienced this time last year. Kind of get their input, so to see their thoughts throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we talked about the journey of going to the hospital, getting the diagnosis, and a little bit about what we did as far as treatment. And our kids were with us along the way. So we want to hear from their perspective of what they were thinking, what they thought as we were going through these 4 different cycles of this health journey, this health challenge. So one question to you guys is, what were you thinking when you got the call? When did you call them? Because I was out of it. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I called them that night.
Friday night?
Right, yeah, we was in the ER. But they didn't come until the next morning, I believe. Can't remember the timing of it, but they can kind of chime in on that. Am I correct? Did I call y'all that night? Because, everything it was a lot going on, and I knew I was obligated at least to call them. I knew that.
What month was this in?
This was
end of June.
End of June, because she got out of the hospital 4th of July, exactly on the 4th of July.
Okay.
So I went to the hospital on June 28th, which was a Friday. And then apparently I was in the hospital June 28th with Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then Monday I had surgery. So we're trying to figure out, where did y'all come in during that time, because I don't know.
Well, I don't remember exactly when, but Dad definitely let me and Terry know, and I remember feeling like, not like I was sad, but it was like, how you get that feelings like, dang, I can't swallow. It's like I can't breathe. It's like it was one of them type of feelings like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what else?
I just got engaged, and then boom. And it was just like, dang, I'm trying to figure out how to process this. But then my relationship with Jesus has been strengthened this year, last year, 2024. So I was trying to think positive. I was getting a devotion out, trying to find scripture, praying. Me and Terry, we prayed for you. I had a prayer on my phone that I made specifically for you. Okay. So before I even went to the hospital to see you, I made sure that my mindset was right. And then Dad, he made it easier because of how he was acting. Like he wasn't seeming nervous or scared. So it kind of eased me once I got there.
Yeah. And who is Terry?
Oh, Terry is my fiance. We had just got engaged in the month of June. So that was like our engagement month. And a lot happened last year.
Yeah.
Right.
The granddaddy, he was going through different things, and your auntie. So it was a lot, man. Yeah. So.
I had just got back to Murfreesboro that Friday. I stayed here for a week because I was working this summer camp that was a 6-week summer camp, but I only worked maybe like a week or 2 at the summer camp. And that week, you had just been acting weird. Like you're a clumsy person. So we wasn't surprised that you was like falling and tripping, but it was how you were falling and tripping. Like when you would walk Oreo, I think you mentioned that you fell when you walked Oreo, but that's not something you hadn't done before. So it was like, okay, you know, laugh it off and move on. But then little things like you trying to pick something up off the ground, you would fall over, or try to sit on the ground, you would tip over. So we kind of was like laughing at little things, but at the same time it was like, okay, is there something connected to this? And then you also had a headache. So when y'all called, I had just got home, just sat on the couch. When y'all called to say that you took mom to the emergency room, I was just kind of like, okay, it might be something similar to like a migraine, serious migraine or something. So I didn't ever think that it could be what it was. I thought it was just gonna be something minor. And then you also had mentioned that you were experiencing like the stages of menopause. So I'm thinking it still has something to do with menopause. I'm still thinking it's on a smaller scale. So I kind of was just like, I was on guard, but it was like, I wasn't thinking anything drastic. I still kind of was like, oh, it's something probably fixable. You know, which it was still, but I was thinking it was just something smaller, on a smaller scale. So that's kind of what I was thinking about when you had first called, and I knew like, okay, you know, had my phone available throughout the night, and then the next morning, of course, check in.
So y'all came Saturday, and like I said, I was out of it, so I don't know what was going on in the hospital room when you got there.
And one thing I want to mention, I don't think y'all mentioned before in the other podcast, is Friday. You never mentioned that you was trying to wash your car.
Oh yeah.
You was outside. It was Friday, you know, the campaign ended, I packed up, I went home. I think Dad was somewhere working, and you was here by yourself. I think you was just trying to fight the headache. And you decided that you wanted to wash your car.
It was hot that day.
It was really hot that day.
Yeah, let me add to that too, because when I came home, our neighbor was watching Lisa through her window, and I remember, when I came home and I saw her washing the car, I was like, "What are you doing?" I could tell she wasn't right. Okay, and so I stopped. I ended up doing it. I ended up finishing it up. I think the tires or something.
I couldn't do the tires.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But after that, a week or so later, when I ran into the neighbor again, she told me, first of all, she's never seen Lisa wash the car. And then she told me Lisa didn't even look right washing the car. Like something wasn't quite right. So she kept her eye on Lisa. She's a nurse too. So, you know, that was a blessing.
Yeah,
because Lisa could have something could have went down at that time. You know, but you know, looking at God, always having somebody there close by to watch you. That was a blessing that our neighbor was keeping an eye on you while you were washing the car. But yeah, you're right, Sherry. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, yeah. Because you had a headache then, and you still either was that or you was tired, just getting off work.
She had a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I had the headache, and I do remember we got off half day that day for whatever reason. Oh, because it was leading into July 4th weekend or whatever. So we got off, and I wanted to wash the car. Don't know why, but I wanted to wash the car.
And I think you came back inside and laid down. And then when Dad came home, that's when you said that you wanted to go to that's what I think you said you wanted to go to the ER.
Yeah. So that was Friday, and then y'all came Saturday. But how was, what were you thinking when you came to the hospital? Was I up, moving around? I don't know.
No, you wasn't up moving around. You was laying down in the hospital bed, and you could tell that you was in pain. And so that's when I first walked into the hospital, I kind of noticed, oh, this is more serious than what we thought. And we were, the signs was there, but you still like trying to figure out what's going on when you see those signs. But that's when I was like, oh, okay, this is more serious than what we thought, like something is going on. And we were just trying to figure out, in my head, like, I'm trying to figure out what are they doing to help relieve the pressure that you were feeling. And I think Dad was telling me, I don't know if you was there when I got there.
I think you probably got there before.
I think Granny was there first.
She came first.
She was there first,
Yeah.
and then I came, and then maybe y'all came later
Because I
on.
believe Dad told us one night, but then I came the next day.
I came
Yeah.
the next day too.
Yeah.
But timeline of when people showed up.
Right.
Yeah, I think they already started giving you medicine to help with the pain. Like, you know, different things, trying different things. So that's kind of what my thought process was. Like, okay, we still didn't know it was a tumor at that point. We still didn't know any of those things. So I'm just trying to figure out what are they doing to help you not have a severe headache anymore.
Right.
And that's what I remember too. I remember just waiting on information because I was asking you what was going on and seeing you in that state. Obviously, it wasn't a good way to look at you. I was, you know, like I said, Dad made it easy. His demeanor, he didn't seem worried. He didn't seem fearful or scared. And then Terry, she made it easy for me. She was very comforting, you know, holding my hand, making sure I was okay. So, I went in there trying to not be sad, but everybody kind of made it easier experience. So,
Setting the tone is vital, you know, and I knew that was important to set the tone, and then to have, you know, praying is one thing, but you need to add confidence to your prayer, you know, and it's a struggle because this is new, you know, and you're right, they didn't know what it was. She's had this before in a different location, okay, but that wasn't cancerous. And we were positive, believing the best out of the whole situation.
And so, was that what you were thinking? Like, oh, this is the same thing that happened before, you know?
I thought so. That's what I thought.
Kind of. I think when you first had your first surgery, we were like younger, and I feel like y'all kind of kept that away from us more. Like I remember being at the hospital, you had surgery, but I really didn't understand what was going on. Like I just knew, and I don't really even remember your recovery thing. Like I don't remember your recovery time and how that was, and I really don't remember. I think y'all kind of shielded us from that a little bit more, and since we're older, we kind of understand information more. We can ask questions and really see what's going on. So this one was different. I had forgotten completely about the other one.
Yeah, the old one, like she said, I remember, I think we got out from school and we went to the hospital. All right, let's pray. Mom's gonna have surgery. Huh? We got talking about Mom's gonna have surgery. So she had her surgery and then came out, and then it seemed like everything was like back to normal, but we didn't ask no questions, but it was just like, what she had surgery for? And you explained it to us, but I think at that time, we didn't really understand, but we was just happy that whatever it was over with.
Right. I think we left with Granny or something. You know, like she came to pick us up after you told us. Like we didn't stay at the hospital with y'all for the surgery like we did this time, and we were more around. Last time it was like you said, came after school to pray, and then somebody took us somewhere. You know.
And see, this time it was a little different. I feel like we're older now, and we understand why people don't tell everybody when they're going through something because of your mindset and how you're thinking. You want to be able to go in there with a positive mindset, having some faith, you know what I'm saying, and not clinging so deeply into what the doctor says if it's something that's not what you want to hear.
Right.
So we understand that now better than I think we would have if we were kids.
Yeah.
We've experienced, classmates get sick or even passing away, and when the word got out, it was in one particular situation, another classmate had died also from the news. So being careful about who you talk to or whatever, or you have to look at I was looking at a lot of things, especially her family members, especially her mom, right? Because I know she's very emotional, right? And then the other thing, she's also juggling her husband and her other daughter. It was a lot that she was dealing with. And for me to call her, I did not want to do it. When she came, she was the first one to the hospital Saturday morning. I called her, and she was pretty cool on the phone, but I knew when she got there, she was gonna let me have it because I didn't call her Friday. And then she looked at me and said, "This is my daughter. Don't you not let me know ahead of time next time." And I said politely, "Okay," you know. But I was looking out for her feelings and everything that she was going through. You know, this is something you can't keep from her. It was just a timing thing, you know. And I didn't want anything to happen to her, you know, because of the other things we've experienced with other friends, finding out bad news. Everybody's not built the same. Some people can take sadness and bad news different from other people, right? But we never know. We never know. And I was just trying to be cautious, you know.
And that time in 2024 was I feel like a very critical time because we had just kind of got granddaddy settled at home.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot before that, you know, and so we kind of had just got him settled at home to where he was comfortable, he was good. And then Valerie, she was comfortable, she was good. Everything was kind of quiet for just like 10 seconds. And then your situation happened. So it was like, as soon as you thought you could breathe a little bit, you know, now you get your breath taken away again. So it was a lot going on. It was a lot of that on and off the entire year of 2024. So I think everybody was just like, okay, let's just see what's going on first and then react versus trying to, we all could have lost our minds. You know, it was a time where everybody could have just been like, you know what, take us out.
What was the toughest? What was the, what, okay.
He said, not me.
Speak for yourself. What was the, we've already talked in the other episodes. What part was the toughest? The initial part, coming Saturday and being there Sunday before the operation, and even after the operation, okay? Or when the report came back and the doctor said, "Hey, she had stage 4 cancer." Because when the report came back, that's naturally was the decision for them to recommend chemotherapy and radiation. Okay. Were your feelings equally the same? Were you more scared after you found out what it was, or initially just being nervous because she's in the hospital dealing with the issue? Because she was dealing with the issue, but we didn't know what it was. But after the fact, we found out.
I would say for me, I think finding out because like I said, I went into it trying to be strong and trying to be supportive and trying not to be sad. But I think when I found out what it was, I said, "Oh, okay, let me go home because I know myself." Get home, Terry with me. I'm on the couch, broke down. You know what I'm saying? I had to just get it out. And then once I got it out of my system, back to praying. You know what I'm saying? So that was my thing. Once I found out what it is, you know, and trying to figure out what our options are and stuff like that. So
I think that was the hardest part too. You being in the hospital, that of course was hard, just seeing you go through surgery, being in pain, like even just being out of it. You know, you're the person that always has an answer out of the family. You always know what's going on and
what
prayer to pray, the go-to person. So to see the go-to person go down, it's kind of like, you could have easily been panicking, but since I had a relationship with God as well, Dre, Dad, it's like that was the main source of information that we could go to. But that was learning the diagnosis was the hardest part, and it was really harsh. Like hearing the recording. Like
you had recorded the diagnosis from the doctor.
It was really harsh because it wasn't just cancer. It was stage 4 cancer. Then they said, "Oh, well, if you don't do anything or whatever, you only got this much time left." And so it was like, before that week of surgery and everything, you was perfectly fine. So how in the world did we jump all the way here?
Right.
Where did all this come from? So it was just very like a slap in the face. So I think that was the hardest part, learning the diagnosis, and it was like, okay, well, what are we gonna do to push out everything they just said and get back on track?
And then to add to what she just said, you being like, you're like the glue, like, especially with with your side of the family, Granny, Granddaddy, Valerie, Diamond, all of us.
Right.
You know, you was dealing with Granddaddy, dealing with Valerie, trying to make sure Granny's okay. You know, we got Diamond, Riley, me, Charity, Dad, just trying to make sure everybody's okay. And then it's like when you went down, it's just like, it's like, what we gonna do?
I know.
The captain of the ship is down. What we gonna do?
Who's gonna drive? Who's gonna drive this family down the road?
Yeah, so it's interesting seeing you take a step back to recover, and everybody kind of just like Charity and Diamond and Riley stepping up, making sure Granddaddy and Valerie's okay, and me and Terry, we came over here when you was in the hospital, and we just cleaned up the house. Especially Terry, she wanted to do certain stuff like wash the dishes. We took the trash out. Dad said, you said you was cold at one point. You probably don't remember this. Terry texted me talking about, let's go get her a blanket. So we came here, got you a blanket, and I think Charity got you a body pillow. So just seeing everybody come together to just kind of help out the family in different ways was interesting.
And then we had Oreo too, so y'all took care of Oreo. I took care of Oreo too. Like, so I had just went back, but then I came back and stayed while you was in the hospital and recovering, because I was working from home at the time, and I was working from night. So during the day, I'm at the hospital switching off for Dad, and then when y'all got off work, y'all would come clean here, or then come to the hospital. So everybody, like you said, kind of played their roles and switched out the schedules to make sure everybody was covered. And then Diamond, of course, was at Granny and them house getting them together. So
yeah. And weren't you was in Murfreesboro at the time, right?
I was still living in Murfreesboro, but since I worked from home, I was able to bring all my stuff here and work here. And I was working at night during that time, so I was able to be available in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, we got the diagnosis, and y'all heard the video. You know, and then we all made a plan. We were at Mama's house. We made a plan about how we were going to contain the information, and y'all understand why we did that. Why we didn't want to broadcast. You know, like, oh, she just got diagnosed with this, that, and the other. We were trying to protect our faith, our peace, our faith, and our stand. So did y'all understand what we were doing, or thought we was crazy?
I understood, but it's very hard to keep information in, because people was texting me, asking me questions, or saying, you know, I hope your mom's doing okay. I'm like, who told you? Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then I realized y'all got a lot of friends, a lot of cousins, a lot of church members that showed up. Like, so I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's people that care and want to know. But as far as me, I could keep it secret. How's your mom? Oh, she's doing great. She's recovering just fine.
Yeah.
On the inside, I'm like, I don't know, but I just want to spread that out. Like, she's doing great. Let's just say that across Nashville, Tennessee, she's doing great. She's recovering. She's better. So that was what I was saying to people. So
mine was pretty much the same thing. I think somewhere, you know, just in life, y'all kind of talk. We knew about the power of your words. Like, there's power in your words, life and death. So when we heard the recording and we all sat down and we was like, okay, this is what we finna do. You know, you expressed what you wanted to do, how you felt, and so it was like, okay, that's all you gotta do is give me instruction in this game time. So when people was asking, same thing, the response would be positive. You know, if people ask what to pray, you know, just pray that she makes a full recovery. You know what I'm saying? Like little different things. And the same thing, they have so many friends and they have the same friends. So it's like
some of y'all friends,
some of our friends,
close.
Right. So like, you know, people we grew up with, their parents, and the sorority and church and school. Y'all have y'all school too. So it was just a lot of people in general. But the people that did come up there, where their dad, you know, let them know it was okay for them to come or whatever. That's when I saw what prayer warriors looked like, and it was pretty cool to watch. It was emotional to watch as well, just like them coming up there and praying for you, over you, or being on the phone and praying over you, and just you could just tell that it was different type of prayer. It was prayer with immediate action to it. It was just a powerful prayer. And so I'm very grateful for the friends that y'all do have, because like you can have a million friends and nobody show up. Right. But every single friend and family member that y'all had showed up for y'all one way or the other. Right.
The ones that were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
We had some that wanted to be there but couldn't. Right. But God, in my opinion, he set it up where the right ones showed up and kept kept that atmosphere right where it needed to be.
Right. Or some called and prayed over the phone, like you said, you know, and you know, all of that was set in the atmosphere so that we know where our power is coming from. Yeah.
Everybody was focused on the main source.
And let me add one more thing about the prayer thing. Several of our friends are going through issues, whether it's sickness or whatever. And so it's like, okay, part of it was like, okay, I know I need to tell this person to keep listening to prayer. But that person also was going through a lot themselves. Yeah. So it was like, you know, it's like you really don't want to throw an extra burden on somebody else that's trying to fight their way out of their own burden. You see what I'm saying? You know, so it was like, we had multiple friends and they all equally were, they got it. They really did. And to see, again, to see the importance of prayer coming from certain people. There were certain people that came to pray and also had testimony here and there that we didn't know about.
Right.
You know, I remember this one, I ought to call her name out, but I won't. She was like, you ain't gonna leave me out of this prayer group. You know, because I understand what she's going through, and I've been through it, and I know God can if God can bless me, I know God can bless Lisa. You know, and so it was like hearing those testimonies, you know, and that was another thing we talked about. We don't see a lot of miracles and testimonies all the time from people we know. Right? You know, so that was very important to hear that encouragement from people.
So, you know, is there something that stuck out that you learned from this, or are you applying it to your life now, especially in terms of prayer and your relationship with God?
I would just say several things. One thing just related to what we just talked about is friends. Now I kind of see the importance of the company that you keep. Like, yes, you have friends that you grew up with or whatever, but it's good to also make friends that kind of see the importance in praying and building a relationship with God and the people that you're just connected to. So that's one thing. Another thing is just being more intentional with my prayer life and my relationship with God. So making sure that I'm carving out time to spend with God, learning His Word and being able to like recite it even when I pray, and just the way that I pray too. Just from hearing those prayer warriors and hearing y'all pray, it's your prayer is more powerful when you use His Word and when you insert different things in your prayer. So those are a lot of things that I've learned and will take with me, and also just when something things are going to happen in life. You can't dodge, you know, things happening in life, but it gets easier and it's more manageable when you're connected to God. So it's like you kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel when you're connected to God versus when you're not. the tunnel is just dark and you don't know where you're going. You don't have no direction or nothing. So those are some things that I use moving forward, and just being calm. Like Dre said, y'all were both very calm. Dad was super calm, so it kept us calm. And so it's like when situations happen, you don't have to go frantic. You don't have to, be running around screaming or nothing. Like, just stay calm and navigate through the situation.
That was good preaching. Yeah.
What was the question one more time?
Oh, is there one thing you took away from this or implemented into your life since this happened?
Okay, it's several things. I'm gonna steal some of Charity's answers. So the thing about the friends praying, right, is very important to me now. I got one praying friend I know for sure,
Right.
who watches the podcast. And I also want to say, kind of like, be careful of who all you're telling when you're going through something. I learned that as well. Like, even small stuff, because sometimes people can project their failures on your life. It's like, oh yeah, I remember when I was your age and I was just moving out, we struggled, It's like, no.
Right.
I'm not finna claim none of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just being careful when I'm feeling down, when I'm going through something, who all I'm telling, because of the feedback that I might get or what they might speak over my life based off what happened in their life. And then another thing I was gonna say, just watching Dad, how he very protective over you, and you grow up, you see your parents as your parents, mom and dad, but I really got to see Dad as a husband and how he protected you in many different. I saw him protect you in different ways, even down to not wanting certain nurses to be around you, or protecting information, or protecting you spiritually with his demeanor and how he shows up, So I got to see that example, and that was great as well. So those are the things that I took from it.
It's funny. Everybody don't see all the sides of me.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying. You're very silly.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Not silly.
Oh, whatever you want to call it.
That's serious.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And so,
he got a serious side.
Right.
Right. And so you hear from different friends, the church family, they see certain sides of me. But the friends I grew up with in school and even on my job, they see a different side of me. So when it came to this, I had to rely on, my spiritual side. You can't act silly with this. You got to have some meat and, and some wood in the fire, right, to get you through this, And so having a balanced life is vital, When I went to the military, that's where I also got saved. And so I told Lisa, I said, life is like being in the military, because it's not that it's a war, but you have to constantly be ready with whatever comes your way. Boot camp prepares you for war. A lot of people didn't experience war, but they got the experience and they got the preparation from going through boot camp. So God's word is there to prepare us for whatever. This was Philippians 4, God, the peace of God that, I can't remember.
That passes all
Understanding, right. See, there's scriptures like that. When you rely on God and you go to those scriptures, when you do that, God will do his part.
Yeah, there's a scripture that says he watches over his word to perform it. So
it's this made us all stronger as a family. Right. This wasn't Lisa's first rodeo, but it was a different twist to this one. But
it's the last, and it's not.
It's the last.
Back.
This one ain't coming back.
Right.
Ain't nothing else coming either.
Right.
Well, ain't nothing else coming, So we just have to always be prepared and ready to help others, help support others, right? Help to be that example for others. That's the whole point of why we're doing this podcast. We want to be able not only to learn and listen and hear from Lisa, but we want people to kind of understand that when one person is affected, it affects everybody.
Right.
And it's very vital for everybody to be on one accord.
Yeah. And using God's word to walk us through whatever we go through.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is that, are we done? Because I had one more thing.
Okay.
We also have people who are not in the word.
Mm-hmm.
Family members, friends, neighbors, co-workers. Okay. And you have to have also the help of God to know what to say to them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a balance of not getting frustrated because they don't understand. They may say something crazy, right? And it's like, so you have to also be able to, like, okay, how do I respond to this person?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And still not seem to be
Not mess up your prayer or your declarations,
right.
or what you're standing on, because they may say, "Oh, well, my great granddaddy in 1920 had the same thing, and he
he didn't make it.
yeah."
And that's a struggle that I feel like I've struggled with this past year and a half with everything going on. Like you said, you can't talk to everybody about what you're going through because they just might not understand. A lot of people don't understand things till they go through them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, even like us, like, with granddaddy's passing, I didn't really understand those emotions until I went through them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had friends go through that before me. And so now I'm thinking back of like, what could I have done better to support them through that journey? Because this is something that I would have liked. You know what I mean? So it's hard and to communicate with people that don't have, any foot connected to God, and they, like you said, may say certain things. It's a struggle because you want to be able to encourage them with God's word, but you don't want to be that person that scares them away from it.
Yeah.
So it's a, and then you don't want to get too frustrated. So it's a battle within itself. Because we all of us, we're not perfect. Yeah, we connected, but we can still be doing more. We can still be doing better.
Right.
So, but it's hard when you can tell somebody may not have any connection or just like a small connection, and you want to help them, but it's hard to communicate. So that's something I still kind of struggle with, and that's part of my prayer to help me communicate with people, all people better, whether they even are in this, believe in God or not.
Yeah, that's good.
So because we're working, we're going to encounter people that have different beliefs, and so you don't want to be judgmental to them and be mean to them. So I just in my prayer to just be better at communication, period, with everybody.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, that's a good point. All right.
We're so proud of our young adults, and we're glad that they came to share what they were feeling in their experience, and what they experienced through this journey. And we're hopeful that our testimony and what we share and the Word of God will help you get through any situation that you're encountering as well.
And Dre, we're proud of y'all. Y'all been through a lot, and y'all started this podcast to share. Mom doesn't like to talk a lot, so this is big that you're even, doing this. But already y'all gotten a lot of good feedback. So I would say we're proud of y'all too, and y'all are great examples for us.
Yeah, I agree. I think y'all are great examples, and I'm proud of y'all.
Right. It's funny though, y'all can tell who's got whose personality. You too.
Yeah.
All right.
We appreciate you guys for joining in and hanging with us, and we have more to come. Okay, and just stick with us, and we'll hopefully have a variety of different type of people to jump on here, and you kind of hear their inputs about different situations too. So again, we thank you guys. We appreciate everyone. We love you guys for supporting us. May God bless you till we see you again.